What's your name?
You're not interviewing me like this.
What's
No,
your
you're
name?
not.
What other high school sports do you play?
I started track my sophomore year because my PE coach thought I would be good at it. And about 4 or 5 weeks into the season, I broke the all-time school record for shot put. And our school's 70 years old, so that was pretty fun to do.
How did you do in the meets?
I always got first place except in shot put and discus, except for once when a girl who was a senior and had been working on it since her freshman year beat me in the discus and the shot put, and then when it came to the CIF track meet finals, I beat her in the shot put and she beat me again in the discus, but it didn't matter because I was runner-up for the best female track athlete of the year. She got it, but it's okay. If I saw her again next year, I'd beat her. Furthermore, at the end of the season, I got first place in league, and so I got first team all league for shot put, and I got second team all league for discus, and then I got to advance to the CIF finals. And as mentioned previously, I beat the girl in shot put. I advanced to the CIF finals, and I was the youngest person there to medal in my event, which was shot put, and I got a 5th place medal for divisions 3 through 5. Going to track practice every day was kind of difficult because I would go from track practice to guys volleyball practice to oftentimes club practice, and you know, that's a 6-hour day of working out, and that got kind of tiring, but I guess it's worth it to have gone to CIF as a sophomore for track, and it's going to pay off, and it did pay off this year for volleyball.
How are your grades?
My GPA is 3.9, and I take almost all honored classes and AP classes, AP being advanced placement. The only non-AP courses that I'm currently enrolled in are math, but I've taken AP English, honors English, AP World History, AP Chemistry, AP Physics, so.
Tell me about your coaches.
My high school coach, Dexter Harvey, describes himself as a short-fat black man, and I guess that's true, but he's definitely very loud during games, and during practice, he'll yell at you if you do the slightest mistake. You may have just made one of the best saves ever, and he'll yell at you because, you know, you were out of position or something like that previously, and, you know, I learned to accept that only getting a couple good job, Kenzie, or, you know, grade up throughout the whole season, you know, it gets old not just hearing his crap, but I get used to it, and I like hard coaches because if a coach isn't hard, and if they don't try to make you better, then why are they bothering coaching? You know, they have to be hard, they have to be, you know, hustle all the time in order to be a truly good coach.
What about your current club coach? How did you find him, and tell me about him?
Well, there was a tournament for school at La Jolla, and it was one of the bigger matches. We were playing against a nationally ranked team, Vista Murrieta. We were actually the only team to knock a game off of them. We did lose to them, but we did knock a game off of them, the only team in the whole tournament too. And I used the pokey, the beach set, like, to save a ball, and the person who was reffing, I didn't know he was a club coach. I guess Dexter did, but I didn't know that. And so it was one of the, you know, big points, you know, 24-23 game, and I jumped up because the ball was going over the net, and I tried to pokey it, and he actually, the ref, had called me on a lift. And I thought that was ridiculous. How can you lift using 2 fingers unless it's just impossible to? You can't lift using two fingers. So I just was like, how can you call that a lift? Are you blind? What kind of ref are you? You don't deserve to ref. And Dexter's like, calm down. You know, I get pretty into it. And then at the end of the game, the ref had wanted to talk to me, and I was like, oh, he's going to want to talk to me because I was being rude to him, but, you know, he should understand it was a really tight game, a really big match. And he actually asked me, he told me, oh, I'm a coach at San Diego Volleyball Club, and I'd like you to come set for us. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, I thought you were going to yell at me. But the reason he said that is because he saw several of my matches the whole day, because he was reffing our court the whole day, so he got to see me play a lot.
What are some players that you admire currently?
Definitely the big names, just Missy May and Carrie Walsh, because they both are amazing, but also Courtney Thompson, who sets for Washington, is pretty much the best setter I've ever seen in my life. And I also admire Bryn Kehoe, the setter for Stanford, because I think she actually might be better than Thompson by the time she's a senior. So that's going to be cool. And Pat Powers actually lives a couple houses down from us, so he's invited me quite a few times to go to the beach and play with him. And once when we were at the Junior Olympics, he gave me a call and he wanted me to play the tournament, a beach tournament with him, but I couldn't because I was in Atlanta, Georgia at the Junior Olympics. So
tell me about the Junior Olympics. When did you go and how did you do?
We, as a 16-1 NCS wave team, we went in ranked 39th, and we played hard. The first day we did well. The second day we started, dropping off, and by the third day, it was tough because we were tired, but I'm proud of us because after coming in 39th, coming into the competition 39th, we ended up being 18th. So it's a pretty big jump to beat out all those teams.
So how do you run an offense?
My sophomore year, a lot of the seniors quit from the varsity team, so I had to step up and be the setter in a 5-1. So that was pretty tough going from the JV setter right to the varsity setter because the difference between JV and varsity is obviously a huge gap. So that was definitely a learning year. Dexter taught me, you have to establish the middle first and then go for the outsides and the trick plays. And this past year when we won league and we made it to CIF for the 2006 season, I started, running more trick plays, trying to catch the middle off guard by dumping, and if for some reason, our hitters weren't doing too well, I would just do a little dump to force the outside to respect me, so she would step in, and then maybe her block wouldn't be so strong, and a lot of times it wouldn't be, and so I could set the right side, and the right side could tool her more easily, and I would do the same with the opposite side's right side, and so she would be forced to respect me if I dumped, and so she would step in, and then her block might never be as strong, and so our big hitters could tool her as well.
What are you looking for in a college volleyball?
I'm definitely looking for a hard coach that can make me better through words like Dexter or my club coach Michael, but I also want good chemistry on the team because I like to have fun on the team and I want everybody to be able to work together.
When you practice, what is your style of practice?
Every single ball is like game point, game 5 of, the national championships. That's how you have to play because practice doesn't make perfect. It's perfect practice that makes perfect.
How would coaches describe you, from your club coaches to your high school coach?
Most coaches describe me as a very hard-working player. I am very intense sometimes. I get a little too wrapped up in the game sometimes, but I can always come out. Being the setter, you have to be the cool-headed one. And so I've also been described as a very strong setter. The opposing coaches always know who I am, and they tell their left sides to get on me in case I dump, but it doesn't matter, I dump anyway and I still get a point, so I'll take it.
What's your name?
You're not interviewing me like this.
What's your name?
Kenzie Aries.
And what is today?
January 25th?
And Monday, Tuesday?
No.